Hey guys, this is Astronaut. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Ed Boon and the possibility that he shared of NetherRealm Studios making games including Injustice 2 for the Nintendo Switch. We're also going to be talking about Mortal Kombat 11. That's right guys, I got the latest gossip, rumors, and leaks for you about that game. And lastly, we're going to be talking about the Xbox One X, which is due out next month. Guys, I got all the information right here, so stay put. We're going to get right into it right after this. Alright guys, like I said, this is Astronaut. I'm so glad to see you guys back here on my channel. I got a lot of news for you guys. We're going to kick things off with the first article about Ed Boon. Yes, guys, I opened up my Google browser and I was excited to see that Ed Boon is entertaining the idea of making NetherRealm Studio titles for the Nintendo Switch. The main game of interest is actually Injustice 2. Now when I clicked on the article, they made it very clear that nothing has been confirmed yet, but they still have a really juicy interview with Ed Boon where not only does he talk about the possibility of making games for the Switch, but he also shares the fact that he himself is even curious and willing to look into the opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and read you guys the article and you let me know what you think in the comment section below. According to Boon, it would be possible to get Injustice 2 running on the Switch, though he suggested that there could be some shortcomings, presumably in terms of fidelity. Yeah, I think at the end of the day you can make almost any game. There are inevitable compromises, but you can make some version of Injustice on the Atari 2600, he told GameSpot. It's not going to be the best, but I bet you can make something. Speaking more generally about the idea of developing games for Switch, Boon seemed optimistic. That said, the technical challenges could see NetherRealm turn to an outside studio to handle the process. Yeah, actually I do, he said when asked if he has an interest in exploring Switch games. It is a pretty different hardware architecture. It's not like you can go from a PlayStation 4 to a Switch really easily. So I think we would need to set up something in terms of an external team. I know on the art team we have enough people to do 3 console SKUs, and that would be something we'd need to work out. From the game player's perspective, would it be fun to play Injustice on the Switch? I do think it would, he said. You could have tournaments, everyone could come over with their own system, and you can have the whole structured tournaments and parallel gameplay and all of that. Earlier this year, Boon seemingly teased the possibility of a Switch version of Injustice 2. On Twitter, he posted a poll asking whether fans would rather see a Switch or Vita version, with the Nintendo console winning out. No official announcements have been made, but with support for the game continuing, it's not hard to imagine seeing a port eventually. Perhaps that includes all of the DLC characters. Alright guys, so there you have it. Ed Boon has actually given an interview about the idea of making Injustice 2 as well as other NetherRealm Studio titles for the Nintendo Switch, which is a step in the right direction. Also, Ed Boon is a master of media and he knows how to put things out there to basically feel out the gamers and see exactly what the demand is. This article did make note of how Ed Boon himself did ask his gamers on Twitter if they'd rather see Injustice for the Vita or for the Switch, which means that him and his studio, they are currently thinking about doing that kind of investment. Alright guys, on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat 11. Now guys, for all of you out there who have been looking for the leaks and the gossip and to figure out what's going on with the game and its current state of development, this is where you want to be. There is one main leak that has the entire internet abuzz right now, and it's so big that even really large YouTube gaming channels are starting to cover this leak and pump out video after video all about the information in this article. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and read to you the article, and it's up to you to decide whether you think it's right, if it's wrong, if it's legit, if it's not. Whatever you think, make sure you leave your comments and suggestions in the comments below. Here goes. Righteous Hall 04 has made some interesting posts in the Mortal Kombat X subreddit recently, potentially revealing some roster, gameplay, and release details about what will undoubtedly be the NetherRealm Studios' next big project following the conclusion of development on Injustice 2 Mortal Kombat 11. claiming to have received information from a credible source on Twitter with connections to NRS, who supposedly leaked the entire MKX roster on his personal website back in February of 2015. Righteous Hall 04 notes that MK11 is planned to have a roster of 30 characters, with 10 additional fighters planned to be DLC. This will make the game's cast slightly larger than Injustice 2's roster once it receives all 3 full fighter packs, continuing a company trend of increasing roster sizes with each new game. Of these 30 combatants, 17 will be returning from MKXL, 7 will be returning from previous games, with 6 of those being from the old 3D era titles, and the final 6 will be new challengers. He notes that the new game story will feature Raiden as the title's main antagonist, who appeared to be slipping back into his dark Raiden ways at the conclusion of MKX's story by leaving the beheaded yet still immortal fallen elder god Shinnok's severed head at Kitana and Liu Kang's doorstep as the two establish themselves as the new king and queen of the Netherrealm. Gameplay will remain chapter-based, with players switching characters throughout, and will be longer than any of the 4 previous story campaigns that have come before it. It will also be borrowing plot elements from 2 of the series' 3D entries, 2004's Deception and 2006's Armageddon, which featured all characters introduced to the franchise up to that point, and were the last games set within the original timeline before 2008's Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe and 2011's Mortal Kombat 9. Characters who are only in the game as story mode NPCs, similar to Sindel, Baraka, and Rain in MKXL, will also be returning alongside brutalities and the much-loved variation system that defined the previous title. Any deceased characters from the previous games will not be returning to action. Sorry, Nightwolf, Sindel, Shinnok, Smoke, Cabal, Mileena, Shao Kahn, Kintaro, Motaro, Baraka, or Striker players. He then mentions the 17 base roster characters he's seen lots of artwork and rendering for, and they are as follows: Kano, Li Mei, Noob Saibot, Baraicho, Johnny Cage, Shang Tsung, Jade, Dagon, Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs, Frost, Kenshi, Kotal Kahn, Jax, and Onaga. Going off of arcade classic tower endings and the events of the MKX prequel comic, it stands to reason that Sonya Blade, Baron Black, Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Takeda, Liu Kang, Triborg, Tanya, Kung Lao, Kung Jin, Kitana, Devora, Tremor, and Goro could all have shots at returning. Taven and Nitara will supposedly appear in the game as story NPCs or cameos. The source also elaborated on 2 of the supposed newcomers he's seen artwork for, Dominic and Selena. Selena is a dream goddess that apparently has psychic powers and can create things out of thin air and use them as weapons. Dominic is Kano's son and is part of the Red Dragon with Dagon. Supposedly, he hates his father. For those of you who may need a refresher, it was revealed that Kano was training up a son in his ending, with torture being the chief method, giving sufficient fruit to that supposed family grudge. Finally, the poster notes that Mortal Kombat 11 should release around spring 2019, which lines up with the NRS tradition of making a new game every other year. It should be noted that this isn't the first time we've seen a leak regarding the roster of an upcoming NRS game, as the entire launch cast of Injustice 2 was leaked earlier this year on 4chan by an employee working on that title's mobile game, during the company's long silence following the reveals of Harley Quinn and Deadshot at last year's GameCon. Alright guys, I'm curious to know what you think of this article. Do you think it's legit? Do you think it's not? Please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Also, I did another video covering this article. I will place a link to that video in the description box. There I discuss a little more in detail about my personal thoughts about this information, and I also give my personal advice and what I think NetherRealm should do regarding the development of Mortal Kombat 11. Alright guys, now it's time to talk about the Xbox One X that's coming out November 7th, next month. Set it on your calendars. If you are waiting for that Xbox Next Gen console to come out, this is the time. They are really kicking the promotional campaign off in a huge way. They are saying that the Xbox One X is the most powerful gaming system in the world. Not only that, but Microsoft is placing all of its eggs in one basket, hoping that the 4K gaming experience is enough to push it over the edge and into the lead over the PlayStation. Right here I have some information pulled up from the Xbox website, and I'm going to give you guys the specs on the system to help you guys make a better decision on whether you want to make this investment. First off, the world's most powerful console. With 40% more power than any other console, experience immersive true 4K gaming. Games play better on Xbox One X. Faster processing and smoother gameplay. The 8-core custom AMD CPU is clocked at 2.3 GHz to bring enhanced AI, real-world detail, and smoother interactions to your gaming. More memory means bigger worlds. 12 GB GDDR5 of graphic memory adds speed and power to game performance to enable bigger worlds, further horizons, and quicker load times. Immersive worlds, lifelike detail. A 6 teraflop GPU enables 4K environments and characters to become more realistic than ever, with more detail and smoother animations. Memory bandwidth, faster load times. Game graphics are faster and more detailed with 326 GB per second memory bandwidth to keep your gaming momentum flowing. Other specs of the system include 4K Ultra High Def, True 4K, spatial audio, high dynamic range, 4K game DVR. The system will also come with 4K game exclusives including Forza Motorsport 7, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, and Super Lucky's Tale the way they're meant to be displayed on Xbox One X. Also guys, if you already have an Xbox One or an Xbox One S and you've already invested in so many accessories already, good news. The Xbox One X is completely compatible with all accessories, including your games, 1080p TV, all of your accessories, and your online profile. And as if all that wasn't enough, the Xbox One X is going to come with the most advanced multiplayer network ever! And on top of that, you will receive free stuff. That free stuff being 2 to 4 free games every month with an Xbox Live Gold subscription. And just in case you're wondering about the price, it's going to be $4.99 starting out. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up my time here. I hope you got a lot out of this session. Ed Boon is making moves. Mortal Kombat 11 is on the way, and Xbox One X is going to be the most powerful gaming system ever. Guys, after watching this, make sure you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And that's been my time. This is Astronaut. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.